All users who will have access to the Smart Digital Comparing Suite web portal need a Grundfos Global Login account. You can create the account within a minute on the Grundfos website. Don't forget to confirm your account in the email you receive after creating the account. To use Smart Digital Comparing Suite, your company needs a Smart Digital Comparing Suite account. If your company does not already have an account, please contact your Grundfos sales representative or email us. SDCS supports DDA dosing pumps up to 30 liters per hour with the control variant AR, FC, or FCM. The DDA Classic is retroactively supported up to firmware version v.2.62.7915 or higher. One SDCS CAU gateway is required for each DDA dosing pump. Supported control modes include manual dosing and proportional dosing via pulse from a water meter or pulse turbine. The new DDA additionally supports analog control from a 0 or 4 to 20 mA analog signal. To remotely monitor or operate the DDA dosing pump, you need a Smart Digital Comparing gateway. We offer you a version for Europe or for USA, Canada. The gateway is already equipped with all the necessary cables and plugs for a fast on-site installation, such as 3-meter power cable with SHUCO or US power plug, 5-meter control cable with M12 plug for communication with the DDA dosing pump and 3-meter antenna cable with magnetic base antenna. For quick on-site installation, there is a stainless steel mounting plate on the back of the gateway, allowing the gateway to be installed on-site without having to drill holes in your customer's walls. In addition, there is already a data SIM card in the gateway and the data transfer costs are already included in the annual subscription costs. Grundfos has already concluded data roaming agreements for the integrated data SIM card in the gateway in many countries. As a result, Smart Digital Comparing Suite version 3.1 can be used in these countries without any restrictions. For an overview of the currently supported countries, you can refer to the SDCS CIU Gateway User Manual. The Grundfos GO App is utilized for interaction with the Smart Digital Comparing system in the field. Upon scanning the QR code located on the lid of the gateway, a specific menu appears, offering the following functions. The initial setup process of a new SDCS system, including sending the activation email to the administrator. Registering a chemical for the sensorless volume monitoring feature with alarm notification at a freely definable remaining volume in the chemical container. Updating the water meter or flow turbine pulse rate in case of replacing a water meter, ensuring accurate calculation of the process liquid volume and actual volumetric concentration. Check the content of the Comparing Gateway packaging for completeness. Hang the Comparing Gateway on a suitable wall hook using the stainless steel mounting plate attached to the rear. Attach the M12 connector of the Comparing Gateway to the lower right M12 socket of the DDA dosing pump with the M12 connector symbol shown on the right. Position the magnetic antenna vertically on a metal surface to achieve the best reception quality. The antenna should not be covered to achieve optimal reception properties. Plug the power plug of the DDA dosing pump and the Comparing Gateway into appropriate wall sockets and arrange all cables to avoid possible tripping hazards. In the app profile you can select if you want to use metric or US units for the commissioning process. To start the commissioning process, select Remote and then select Scan QR Code to scan the QR code on the Comparing Gateway lid. Alternatively, you can manually enter the numerical code on the sticker into the Go app and then select Smart Digital Comparing Suite. Select First Setup if you commission the Comparing Gateway for the first time. Check the LED status of the Comparing Gateway. The left LED indicates the status of the cellular connection and should be permanently green. If the LED shows a yellow color, try an alternative antenna position. The right LED indicates communication status with the dosing pump and should flash red. Only after complete activation by the administrator, the right LED will light up permanently green. Select the operating mode of the dosing pump to enter the information from the flow sensor in the next steps. This will allow the CHEMPAIRING web portal to calculate the process volume and actual concentration. The following dosing pump operating modes are available in version 3.1. Manual operation, no further entry of the flow sensor data is required. Pulse operation, the pulse rate of a water meter with the unit volume per pulse or a flow turbine with the unit pulses per volume can be entered. Analog control, the new DDA also supports proportional dosing using a connected analog flow sensor signal. In the next step you have the option of entering the analog scaling of the sensor. Choose Control Mode Pulse and then select if you use a water meter or a flow turbine for your proportional dosing process. Determine the pulse rate of the water meter or flow turbine connected to the dosing pump in volume per pulse or pulses per volume. The volume can be entered in liters or US gallons. The water meter or flow turbine is traditionally connected to the DDA dosing pump, as the gateway reads the number of incoming pulses via the data bus. With the associated information about the volume per pulse, the process volume can be calculated in the CHEMPAIRING web portal. Enter the pulse rate of the water meter or flow turbine that is connected to the DDA dosing pump. In this example we use a water meter with a pulse rate of 1 liter per pulse. SDCS helps you calculate the necessary settings on the DDA dosing pump to achieve a target volumetric concentration in your process. To do this, enter the target volumetric concentration in milliliter per cubic meter, ppm or percent, which you read from the chemicals technical documentation. In this example, we use a target concentration of 50 milliliter per cubic meter. Enter the target concentration in the Grundfos GO app. Grundfos GO checks whether the DDA dosing pump supports the target concentration. If the DDA dosing pump type you are using is shown as not supported, you need to select a larger DDA dosing pump type or reduce the target concentration. Grundfos GO now calculates the required DDA input parameters based on the pulse rate of the water meter and the desired target concentration. In this example, a water meter pulse rate of 1 liter per pulse and a target concentration of 50 milliliters per cubic meter result in a DDA input value of 0.0500 milliliters per pulse. Now manually transfer the results calculated by the Grundfos GO app to the DDA dosing pump to achieve the target concentration. Confirm that you have transferred the Grundfos GO app results to the DDA dosing pump in order to send the commissioning file to your SDCS administrator in the next step. Choose Control Mode Analog and then select if your analog flow sensor uses 0 to 20 or 4 to 20 mA output signal. In this example we use a 4 to 20 mA sensor. Identify the following parameters of the DDA input signal. The lower milliamp value can be either 0 or 4 mA. The lower flow value at 0 or 4 mA must be 0 cubic meters or gallons per hour. The upper milliamp value must be 20 mA. For input in the Grundfos GO app, provide the upper flow value at 20 mA in cubic meters or gallons per hour. Enter the flow value of the flow sensor signal at 20 mA. In this example we use a 4 to 20 mA flow sensor with 10 cubic meters per hour at 20 mA. SDCS helps you calculate the necessary settings on the DDA dosing pump to achieve a target volumetric concentration in your process. To do this, enter the target volumetric concentration in milliliter per cubic meter, ppm or percent, which you read from the chemical's technical documentation. In this example, we use a target concentration of 50 ml per cubic meter. Enter the target concentration in the Grundfos GO app. Grundfos GO checks whether the DDA dosing pump supports the target concentration. If the DDA dosing pump type you are using is shown as not supported, you need to select a larger DDA dosing pump type or reduce the target concentration. Grundfos GO now calculates the required DDA setup parameters based on the analog scaling of the external flow sensor and the target concentration. The DDA setup parameters shown below left are based on an analog for to 20 mA flow sensor with 10 cubic meters per hour at 20 mA and a target concentration of 50 milliliters per cubic meter. Now manually transfer the results calculated by the Grundfos GO app to the DDA dosing pump to achieve the target concentration. Confirm that you have transferred the Grundfos GO app results to the DDA dosing pump in order to send the commissioning file to your SDCS administrator in the next step. If you hold both the commissioning and administrator user role, you can send the file to yourself. The following data is required for sending the file: your name, the name of the on-site commissioning technician, send to email, the email address of the CHEMPAIRING administrator in your company. Installation note, a clear description of the CHEMPAIRING system for later identification by the administrator. Press Send Code to transmit the file. The administrator will receive the activation email within a few minutes for the final system activation. If you wish to remotely control the DDA dosing pump via the CHEMPAIRING web portal, you need to activate bus in the DDA menu and set the pump to standby before leaving the installation site. For security reasons, you cannot activate remotely. If you leave bus deactivated, you can operate the pump locally, and on-site changes to the dosing pump are immediately displayed in the CHEMPAIRING web portal, which then operates in read mode. To ensure that the settings you set remotely on the new DDA dosing pump via the SDCS portal are retained even after a power interruption or a DDA factory reset, set the cloud settings to persistent. To do this, go to Advanced Settings with the bus activated. Enter the code 2583. Select Persist under Store Settings from Cloud. We recommend enabling this setting. If you do not activate this feature, the DDA dosing pump will revert to the last manual setting after a power interruption or a factory reset. A few minutes after sending the parameterization file with Grundfos GO, the administrator receives a CHEMPAIRING activation email. Only users with administrator status can activate a prepared CHEMPAIRING system. The link in the activation email will take you to the Activation Assistant in the CHEMPAIRING web portal. Log into the web portal using your Grundfos Global login credentials. Now the administrator can assign the new CHEMPAIRING system to an existing customer, or a new customer can be created if the customer does not yet exist. In this example, we will create a new customer named Customer 7. If you first create a new customer, you can enter all the necessary customer information in this step. In this step you assign a final installation name for the new CHEMPAIRING system. You can create a new installation name or copy the installation note from Grundfos GO commissioning. In this example, we give the new system the system name Cooling Tower 1 Biocide. In this step you will receive an overall summary of the activation process. If something is not correct, you can make corrections using the Back button. After clicking on the Next button, you will be redirected directly to the newly created dashboard of the CHEMPAIRING system. The correct profile file is now transferred to the CHEMPAIRING gateway via the cellular network, and both gateway LEDs now light up permanently green. It may take up to 30 minutes for all tiles in the CHEMPAIRING dashboard to reach full functionality. In the meantime, you can register a chemical for the sensorless volume monitoring feature, which we demonstrate in the next chapter. To register a chemical for the sensorless volume monitoring feature, follow these steps. Scan the QR code sticker on the CHEMPAIRING gateway with the Grundfos GO app. Ensure the CHEMPAIRING gateway is fully functional. Both LEDs should light up green permanently. Enter the name of the chemical you want to register. Input the total volume in liters or gallons. The total volume corresponds to any remaining volume in the dosing tank plus the added volume. Choose the remaining volume for which you would like to receive a notification via SMS or email. By default, 10% of the connected chemical volume is pre-selected. However, you can adjust this as needed. You can also skip this function, and you will not receive a notification. For the initial registration, you must use your Grundfos global login credentials. However, this step is not necessary for subsequent registrations as the login information is saved. You can now verify the successful chemical registration on the CHEMPAIRING web portal. After registering the chemical via the Grundfos GO app, you will see successful registration on the CHEMPAIRING web portal. On the dashboard tile you will find a bar displaying the total connected chemical volume and the remaining volume for the alarm notification. The remaining volume above the bar is updated hourly. Additionally, the name of the chemical and the days since it was added are displayed at the bottom of the tile. Congratulations, your Smart Digital CHEMPAIRING Suite system is now fully operational. To calculate the correct volume of process flow, SDCS needs the data of the connected flow sensor. In case of a sensor replacement with a different pulse rate or analog scaling than the previously installed one, you can change the data with the Grundfos GO app. Scan the QR code sticker on the gateway using the Grundfos GO app. Select Reconfigure and check the gateway LED status. Select the new type of connected flow sensor. Type in the data of the new connected flow sensor. Because of the new flow sensor, you need to recalculate the DDA dosing pump settings to achieve the same target concentration. More information can be found in the commissioning explanation video. Log in with your credentials to send the new flow sensor data to the SDCS dashboard. Your login credentials will be saved, and you will only need to type them in every 4 months. Your updated flow sensor data can be found in More Data if you select the corresponding operating mode. SDCS will now calculate the process flow and actual concentration with the new flow sensor data.